So today we wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Harker and go over some of the highlights, and we can tell you what we enjoy about it and actually what we love about it. So earlier or I should say last year, now we're in the new year, we were thinking about a rooftop tent and a bed rack and the rooftop tent and all those types of options for our Gladiator. And we looked at cost, and then we went to Overland Expo in Flagstaff, and then we went to Overland Expo in Oregon. And obviously, if you've been there, unless you've been under a rock, there's all kinds of options for rooftop tents, bed rack systems. There are options for campers and cab overs and pop-ups, and I mean, there is just a ton out there. So we were that close to getting a rooftop tent, and just by accident, because the rooftop tent didn't show up, we didn't get a rooftop tent. And then we ended up tent camping for a week on our road trip up to Oregon for the Overland Expo, and then back down. And we went to Overland Expo in Oregon, Redmond, and we saw obviously everything that's there. And we walked up onto, actually I remember I was walking down one of the aisles, and I went to the Wagon Tech booth, and next in the Wagon Tech booth was a truck with a Harker, like basically open just like this, what you see next to me. And there was something weird about it. And the weird thing was, and I walked up and I noticed, I'm like, something is weird about that. That looks totally different than all the other campers that I've looked at. And it was the fact that this part here was open, like there was no hatch. And I was like, wait a minute, where's the hatch? This is all open here. Well, where is it? When you look at some of the other brands out there, basically the hatch, flips up and it stays there. And this one was not. And so as I got to look further, I realized that the hatch was removable. Obviously you can't see it, so it's removable. And then it turned into a table, which the table, and there are some brackets here that you can see, and then these lines, and they support this and make this a table so that you can basically have it right on your vehicle. Okay, so the hatch, having this open area, I was like, wow, there's so much room in there. It just looked a lot more open, and it does. It's obviously a lot more open without that hatch there. And I started thinking on it, and I'm like, wait a minute, so now the hatch isn't here, so I don't have to, so with the hatch, basically, normally I guess, when you have the hatch, you have to crawl up and in, and then you have to stand up. In this one, I just got to crawl up here, and I got all this standing room. And then I can just crawl up here on the bed. So that meant that you had the tailgate as more real estate and more standing room inside your camper. So then when we lift this up here, you have all this space in here, and you can actually live in here. So obviously many of the other options, they have where the bed flips up or things like that so that you can have standing room. But the cool thing about this one was because the hatch moves away, you now have this area up here, and then these panels that are on the sides here, they actually close up and create this enclosure that use the tailgate. So you had a lot more space to move around and to live. And so that was really one of the selling points for us. Just more space. Okay, so now inside the Harker, what's in here? So obviously we lifted the bed up, which you saw that already. We have cabinets. We have these storage cabinets here, and they lift up like this. Have a nice, our custom bottle opener. And there's plenty of storage. We have some things that we keep in here, and then we put more things in here when we go on a trip. And we have molly panels on both sides. These panels here, you can see the bags that we attached for accessories. And then we have some on that side as well. And we have our power system. It's called Dirt Circuit, and this is the battery. It's rated at a 200 amp, but it really goes to about, right now it shows 240 amps. And that is connected to a panel over here, which has a Wagon Tech DC to DC battery charger. So when we're driving the car, it automatically switches to charge from the alternator. When we shut off, it switches and charges from the solar panels that are on top of the roof. And then we have switches here. These are for interior lighting. This is for, we have some 12 volt USB, and then these are for exterior lighting on both sides. And then this is our monitor to monitor what's going on with the battery. So then over here we have our cooler, refrigerator freezer. This one is a bodega. It fits in here nicely. We had another one in here, but it was a little wider. And the bodega is the same liters, same size, but a little bit different dimension. So it fit more flush with the cabinet. So we like this one. It's been working well for us. In addition to the DC power, we actually wired up an AC inverter. So we have that option too, because sometimes when we're in Baja, we like to run a Starlink, and that's AC. So we have that option as well. So I'm gonna step out and show you guys some accessories on the outside. Okay, so I just wanted to show you some stuff on the outside here. So obviously, well, we have that table that connects here, which is super convenient. And then we have a Rotopax. They actually make some slats that you can connect that are a little taller, so that you can add an awning. We have a packable awning that we use. And then, so we got these optional side doors, one on each side, so that we can have internal access to, just for convenience. So these are kind of nice. And then on this side, you can see we have our, gas can, but really diesel. I just didn't get the right bottle. And then we have our bow hanging here. And then this one has a side panel as well. And here, we actually reversed one of the MOLLE panels inside, and so I attached all of our Factor 55 recovery gear. So it's totally accessible from the exterior. Just unlatch and go. So here are the side panels, basically zipped up, and when you want to close it up and just have some privacy, and there you go. And then if you want to let out all the light, you can just zip these up. They come out. That's it. Easy as that. So that was the other reason why we liked the Harker, because this whole enclosure basically allowed us to use the tailgate, and we had more space inside. So that's the Harker. Those are the reasons why I like it. You know, like I said, the two main reasons it sold me was that we had this vestibule out here that we could enclose it, and we got to use the tailgate as more real estate. And then the hatch comes off, and it's a table on the side. There are lots of cool things about it, as we showed you, but if you have any questions, definitely hit us up in the comments, send us a message. You can use our link if you're interested in one. Like I said, ask us any questions at all. But you can also use our link. You'll get $1,000 off. Again, there's some motorcycles going by. If you use our link, you'll get $1,000 off. And if you have any other questions, definitely reach out to us. Thanks again.